Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play People's General. Well, if you notice that my voice has changed a bit, I have been suffering a bit of a, well not bit, but a nasty case of flu. I mean it's on me for not taking the flu shot before it was too late. Yeah, I think kind of developed into bronchitis and I wasn't able to speak for more than a minute. Of course I shouldn't really speak more than a minute when I'm doing the LP because that's a run-on sentence, but they can a lot of impulsive dry coughs that may have been made this LP impossible for me to do. But now I feel a bit better. I have, gotten some herbal medicines, drops, Ricola and what have you, and lubricated my throat just enough that I can basically finish this last leg of the journey for Mr. Ling and his PLA cohort in Busan, which is going to be the last metropolitan area that South Korea can make a claim to, or lay a claim to, excuse me. And yeah, so this is going to be the last mission, I think, for not only the Korean campaign, but the campaign for the Chinese. And this is going to be, the ultimate showdown between the US and UN forces and the Chinese. Of course, kicking out the Western influences, so to speak, is going to cement Chinese hegemony in the Asian continent, and it's going to be the cherry on the top of the dragon that is going to rise out of Asia, perhaps to the rest of the world. But that is going to you have to wait until, I guess, General 2 to see what will have happened after that, because this is going to be the end of the Chinese campaign. Anyways, yeah, Pusan is oh man, I do feel a bit of a cough coming, so if I do cough, please excuse me. I try to edit it out, but sometimes it's kind of impossible for me to anticipate and to edit it while I'm trying to say something and then it just comes out all of a sudden. Yes, anyways, Busan is a pretty big city, 3.5 million people. Yeah, it has a pretty extensive beach resort, or so I heard. And during the Korean War, this was the last, the port, I guess the significant port where the UN and the US was able to amass a lot of forces in order to construct what is called the Pusan Perimeter. I guess right now it's going to be Pusan Perimeter because Pusan is not Busan. And this is another town name with San in it. Perhaps there's a mountain nearby. I think I see the mountain right here. Yeah, so they have constructed this Pusan Perimeter and was able to throw a lot of armament and men and air power taking charge. And North Korea tried as hard as it did to break the perimeter and to subjugate the South. Was not able to do so, even though they had a really big charge that they had attempted as a last-ditch effort. In one particular very heavy fighting that happened, but they were not able to break through and were instead repulsed, and that would have meant that a lot of their morale and fighting capability was broken. So they had to escape into the mountain areas and whatnot, and work as I guess, a loose group of bandits or cells, as you designate the terrorist cells nowadays. And it allowed Douglas MacArthur, to launch a very daring attack on Incheon, make a landing at Incheon, basically cutting off the rest of the North Korean army, the vast majority of it, from Pyongyang, the nerve center of its operation, and stranding a lot of arms and men in the area. Yeah, so here we are. We have a lot of prestige, 2364. Substantial amount, but has to be leveraged against the fact that we might not have the air superiority to our liking. So let's check here. Yeah, as you can see, 10%, which is basically the death knell for any air ambitions the Chinese might have in this area. Of course, we can definitely expect the UN and US forces will swarm as expected, as what happened during the Korean War. So I need to adjust this accordingly. 50% is what I like, so 70-64 doesn't really leave a lot, but it's going to be the end game, so just have to really try hard in order to get these units across to Pusan Perimeter and be able to effectively use them to achieve our aims. As simple as that, but of course it's easier said than done. So let's check the map. 8 turns, okay. Alright, so this rather ambitious. Yeah, you can see it's really ambitious. Considering the fact that we might have to capture everything, including the yellow and the green objectives. Yeah, we have a lot of different things that we have to go after. We have supply point. Yeah, and this airfield, and of course we are going to, from the start that is, face off against the pre-assisted stiff resistance. And we can see from the outset, looking at the group of the objectives, regional grouping of the objectives, part of our destination, we have to divide our troops into 3 in large groups. One has to, I guess, take this area, and well, I mean, this is all mountains, so it'd be impossible to actually go through here, but we have to take this area first and divide our forces, and one should go here toward Masan, another San, and another one to Pusan. Or this could wait probably because it might be beset with a large amount of defenses here. And then until we achieve our aims in Masan, I guess we can just stay and try to draw the forces out of Busan as much as possible. Okay, so this is open field toward the third grouping of objectives toward Ulsan, excuse me. Yes, and all these different areas we have to capture as well. Yeah, it's a very extensive map. It's all over the place. The objectives are all over the place, and we have to be mindful of the fact that we'll not be able to bring in all the units from the start. So we need to make use of the HQ as well. Alright, so yeah, so we might have a bit of a, yeah, it's going to be a gargantuan battle, just from the look of it. So let's see what we can do in order to upgrade these guys. Oh, okay, just a second, let's just check the map a bit further. So this is the big river, Naktong. This is one of the rivers that the original Pusan Perimeter was based on. And I think that Pusan Perimeter was larger than the area portrayed here because it encompassed Naktong River going in northern direction as well. So we have already crossed the river in some part, and then now is poised to attack the southern tip of South Korea. Yeah, so we have river here, a big river, and I think we can, if you take this area, you can just take the road and do not have to worry so much about the river. But it's a narrow road anyways. It's a mountain, so it might be pretty good to have an engineer or two to expand our access points. Here and here, of course. And of course here as well. Yep. Right, okay. And here, I guess we can go across the hill, or we can take through this narrow pathway once again, and I'm sure that there'll be artilleries and whatnot here, so we need to be careful. Yeah, airfield, and there's forest here as well, so it's going to be pretty dicey, any way you slice it. Yeah, forest. Yeah, the tanks have to make a pretty wide or pretty fast trip across this area in order to scale the forest and then those troublesome regions. And also, there's a road going down here, it's all connected, so if there's a bit of a struggle here, I can probably provide reinforcement through this road. Okay, so there are different ways to do it. It will be a very dynamic campaign, to be sure. Let's go back. So how to divide up the tanks? Well, they can wait. Alright, so around 50% is going to be where I am most comfortable with. Okay, so yeah. Rear assault. Okay, so some of it have reversal, some of it don't. I think I would rather prefer it to have all of them to have anti-tank, but sometimes you just, have to have this ability in order to make the tanks approach the front line the fastest. Although it may not be the best course of action. For example, this one might be a reverse sword, but for the most experienced tank that I have right now with 1000 or 1200 experience points, I think it's time for me to get this guy anti-tank in order to effect the most amount of damage and reflect the amount of experience points that it has in a more devastating manner. And there's no cost to that upgrade, side upgrade that is. And we have an anti-tank. Yeah, this guy also would benefit from the anti-tank. Yeah, let's try this because I mean, with the preponderance of the anti-air we have, we're not going to be faced with a lot of airstrikes against the tanks. So this might be another option for us to consider. Okay, so how many scouts do we have? I think we have around 4, which is good enough. Air defense, we have 4 Tunguska, 6 Tunguskas, I guess that's enough, or if we do need more, and this is pretty crazy because this Tunguska unit has survived until it reaches 2 experience bars, which is quite unheard of. This is a survivor, because Tunguskas do get killed very easily, and I guess if the experience do reflect as it increases to help this unit to survive a bit better than the other ones. And right, 60 is still there. I might add another one. Right, so we'll come to infantry. Some of these guys might benefit from a bit more punch in dealing with the tanks, especially the ones with a lot of experience points such as these guys. So let's add the tank capability. I can also add the anti-air, and then the helicopters, especially the Comanche and the Apache with a lot of veteran experience. It's going to kill the infantry by 6 or so from my experience. So it might be a good idea to add some of the air, anti-air capabilities, such as, what I did for this engineer guy. Yeah, okay, so let's see what I can do against, for this guy. To increase the close attack or close range attack, perhaps this could be pretty useful. I don't know. Let me just come back after I have upgraded the artilleries, which is another very important aspect of our army. Such as this guy, definitely would benefit from special armament. Yep, and anybody else? Okay, airstrike, yeah, sure. 444, huh? Okay. Alright. Okay, so how much experience? 6 experience, okay. 6, 17, 22, 11. Yeah, I don't want to add a lot of attachment for the anti-air because even with the attachment it gets destroyed rather easily. This might be useful. Yeah, let's come back to that. 364. So should I add some more units? Especially in the infantry section. Perhaps an engineer. An artillery and tanks are too expensive. Yeah, I guess I can add one more. And... well... okay. Alright, so I need to add attachment. Perhaps an anti-air. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so we have... yeah, spent all the prestige that we have. 700 or so, rest of it going into damping their air superiority. And let's see, the commander, Mr. Ling, has accomplished much. He's on a roll actually, has been on a tear through Southeast Asia and Korea. Although the last mission at Taejan was rather dicey. We basically went to the last turn to achieve brilliant victory. Hopefully it's going to have a similar progress in this mission as well. Yeah, so Mr. Ling, I mean, by the way, I checked what other notable persons of the surname Ling is in the martial history of China, and you know, I had to go all the way back. I mean, the most well-known, at least for me, because I read certain parts of Three Kingdoms, Romance of Three Kingdoms, I know that there is rather famous general called Ling Kao. I don't know exactly what the Chinese pronunciation of the name is. The Ling Kao served, I think, Song Quan, or I think he served like 2 generations of Song rulers and was noted for his bravery and loyalty. Unfortunately, was killed while on a campaign. I think the guy, at least in the story, who killed him was another rather famous general called Gan Ning. And Ling Kao's son, he had a son before he died, was I think Ling Tong, and he held grudge against Gan Ning for his father's death, but after a particularly hard battle where they had to cooperate in order to survive, I think they came to a bit of a reconciliation or something, and they became became compatriots. They became pretty good comrades to serve the cause of the Song family. Yeah, alright, and also, you know, there's a panda called Ling Ling, but I shouldn't really digress further. Let's go into Pusan. Yeah, get ready for our final battle, final struggle against the Koreans. Okay, so I think the tank should definitely be the spear point of this attack. But I'm going to hold off on that right now and deploy the infantry first, because we have all these areas. They will necessitate us to fight the infantry within the city axis. So we're going to put rangers and very vaunted. Oh man, I forgot to overstrength these units, but they were rather overstrength anyways to begin with, so I will maybe come back to that if this does not pan out. Airborne, of course. Yeah, starting from the airfield, rather appropriately. And I think we have a deployment zone right here, and I think only here. I don't know about this North Korean area. We do have a North Korean unit still. I don't know when it's going to actually be featured or be activated. Oh, this guy actually earned an experience point. Interesting. Right, followed by the artilleries. And WS1, you can start from there. And type of 5, not type of 5, sorry, type 85, 90. This guy also shouldn't really be spread apart. Going to place some of the air anti-air in order to make sure that I have this covered from the beginning, but I'm not going to deploy everything because I'm sure that these guys, airstrikes will come and Wild Weasel will waste all the ammo from the get-go, which is going to be problematic for our air defense overall. Infiltrator definitely is going to be very important. Aggressive, well, okay, let's give the aggressive guy a better position. And the scout can start from the back. Yeah. And is this good enough? I think one more HQ, sure. Yeah, alright. Let's start out. And I have not missed any other deployment zone. Yeah, so this is rather sparse. Going to place a HQ in the next available hex. Okay, so I don't really see any Koreans. This is night. Okay, so I don't know whether this is a bug or whether the Chinese is using the cover of night to advance. But this is going to be... yeah. Okay, so we go straight into very experienced Korean tank. And this is, yeah, sure. And yeah, okay. Yeah, every point has been covered. It's being defended. Alright. About here. Okay, yeah, of course. And I'm going to deploy some tanks to just overrun some of these guys. Okay, so... Nope. Alright, I'm having a bit of a trouble. Yeah, here we go. Overrun, that's good. Capture it, and maybe second time overrun might be possible. Or maybe I should, yeah, target both these guys. Make it pretty easy. 1 and 4, okay, so maybe this time. Okay, so the extent of the air defense is going to be around this area, so we can capture these and then be done with it in the first turn. That is going to be the extent of our... Well, I guess we cannot even do that because apparently the infantry is not going to travel that far anyways. Perhaps because of the tank here. So NY60 should move. And we should deploy our HQ in order to, yeah, get the tanks out. The HQ can travel here, sure. Okay. Ah, alright, so we have revealed our artillery. And then this guy is, yeah, kind of stopped. Should I go for it? Should improvement, okay, I guess it gains some experience point. Yeah, I don't know whether that is actually useful, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. I need to deploy some tanks. Devastating fire. Yeah, start from there. Reconnaissance, sure. And yeah, all the heavy hitters are going to be featured. Nice. Destroyed it. That's the way I want. And we can actually, now that the tank is gone, go into these two areas. Right. Yeah, so we can definitely reach these two areas. Kind of wondering whether they have a lot of artillery here is what we can check. Can do a bit of a flyby as well. Because I don't want to send my scouts too close to these areas. Yeah, we do have a tank. So beware. And other guys here. Let's see. Ah, okay. Yeah, a lot of different units. Not the least of which is this M110. I think it's UN. Yeah, it's pretty devastating against infantry, so I have to be careful. Yeah, I wonder if I can actually aim at all these guys. Possibly. Yeah, I can. 6 and 6. I can probably destroy it if I do amass it. 2 shots. Okay. Yeah. Recon and smart gamble. So clear, unfortunately. It doesn't look like a forest, but 1 and 10, sure. Yeah. Good that I have already targeted this artillery first. Now, can you travel here and see? It's another tank, okay. Yeah, it's good that I didn't use up my 2 shots here because it could have been pretty bad if I missed it. In the rough or not? Naktong River, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a choke point. Let's see if I can target with my other WS1, which I'm going to deploy right away. Is this the one? No. I have a helicopter too. Yeah, this is the guy. Let's see how well it can do against. Yeah, I really cannot do much. 6 and 7, that is pretty good actually. That's very nice. This guy can probably kill it then. Yeah, okay, good, good. Sure. 21, 24 aggressive attack. Didn't lose. Good news. But if we do amass our troops here and then punch through this area toward Yangsan, right, we can split our troops here in the more wider area and then go for these objectives instead of just trying to cross this choke point. But if this gets a bit crowded here, I have to use this area, this corridor, to move my infantry. I'm kind of thinking about moving only the infantry through this area right now. Do I have a scout? Yep, I do. Oh, and this is on the deployment zone. Okay, that's pretty good. I want to see what they have here, if they have anything. Yeah, they have a stinger. And I think that's it. Let's come back. Infantry have to now, yeah. Probably. Oh my goodness. They have stingers everywhere. Yeah, I have plenty of infantry. I guess I can use engineers, yeah, to take care of it. Airborne. Yeah, yeah, airborne. We can stay here. Anyway, 60. Recon tank. 2 shots. I don't want to expose my tank too much, the get-go. If I place my tank here, then, well, it might do pretty well, I guess. 3, 4, and one more. It might, yeah, it might go away. Not what I intended. But some of the infantry now deployed here can probably follow it and destroy it, and same thing here. But then it's going to be exposed because I don't think my air defense can travel all the way here to cover it. Maybe I can try that, but I don't think so. Oh, actually it can travel. Good. Like here. Then do I have an extra artillery somewhere? No, I don't. Oh, I do. I do a lot. Okay. Wait, this guy can do the trick. Oh no, can't. But I can probably keep targeting the this guy in order to destroy it. Yeah, the mountain is impassable, so this is going to be choke point for them as well as us. And I probably would invite the tanks to actually come inside this city, because next turn is going to be easier to defeat it. Okay, so maybe I should refrain right now and then see if I can destroy the tank. I think I can. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, it's kind of exposed now. Everybody will be targeting this guy, so I need to be supporting it. I am doing it right now. 3 and 3, sure. Okay, all these guys should be supported heavily. The Recon tank is going to just buy its time, and the rest of the infantry will some engineers and type of 5, and on the type of 5 is going to go this way. And probably artillery or 2 will follow, as well as on the airborne, that is. Yeah, can only shoot. Not really do anything. Let's go come back. And I will have an Overwatch tank too, so let's deploy that and see if we can trick the tank to come here and then maybe shoot at it first. That'd be pretty cool. I can probably capture it too. Yeah, but let's try to be a bit discreet here. This guy is going to have a bit of a trouble in the hill. It'd be nice if I have a ranger to go along. I think I did deploy the ranger first already, so I think the ranger is still here. Yeah, ranger is still here. Wow. Okay, then I can make use of their crazy range. Precious Defender is going to be pretty cool. Yeah. Precious Defender is going to be... Oh no, this is Influence. No. Okay, passed it. At this guy. Yeah. HQ7. Deploy... Okay, need to be prepared for their helicopters, so... And one more Tunguska to just protect the artilleries. Yeah, the Tunguskas everywhere. And the screening scout in order to help cover some of our most vulnerable units. And more Tunguskas. And DK9s, of course. Yeah, in the backhand. Influence. Yeah, okay. And a very experienced type of 5. The influence guy probably can't destroy the... Yeah, good. Yeah, it's all good. WS1. Helicopter should come back here. There are a lot of stingers about. And still more units to deploy, including artillery. Yeah, it's really cramped. I will deploy all the infantry though. It's definitely useful. Okay. 3 and 2. Okay. Where's the ranger guy? This guy? Yeah, now I can destroy it. Nice. And finally, a Tunguska to protect this area. And an artillery to follow them. Rough. I don't know how well he's gonna travel. Apple 5. You know what? I'm gonna capture it. If the tank here comes, I think this guy can actually attack first. And then screening is going to screen it's right here. And the other screening unit. Where is it? Oh, this guy. It's going to screen, I guess, in the mountains. Or I guess screen these guys. Yeah. 7. Right, so how many units do I have? Some anti-tanks and another... Okay, so let's use all the grumbles. I'm keeping 3 Tunguskas. I don't know whether that is actually sound strategy. I'm not so sure, but yeah, keeping a lot of tanks still, just like the last time. Anti-tank might be useful just being deployed and see if I can kind of plug in some of the burnable spots, such as here. I'm not so sure whether the Koreans will come over here. So I just park one guy right here, and same thing over here, because I'm kind of not sure about which mountain, so I guess it's kind of clear cut that they're not going to be able to cross, but it's good to, you know, protect this area to begin with. Alright, this is the scout? Yeah, this scout has not traveled much. I'll just be outside of the area and engineer, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. It's very well protected. Scout. Yeah, I think this is pretty good progress for the first turn. Let's check the map. Yeah, I guess so. Next turn you're gonna reach Cheonji and Onyang with this infantry. Yangsan might be in our sight, and of course the Chinyong, and if we are lucky enough, Kimhae. I guess we are going to decide. I think the most progress that have been made along this front is going to decide whether they're going to split up the troops to support either side. Going to be pretty flexible in that way. 26 left, plenty. Okay, so first turn is over. Let's see what they have in store for us. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty, folks. It's going to be Pusan Perimeter number 2. And yeah, the Recon has seen what we have. Stinger has gone back. You can see that there's a KIFB and there's artillery, yeah, now being deployed from this area. We see a lot of air missions too. Oh yeah, ambushed. That is very, very bad for the Koreans. And of course the Overwatch. Oh, they have a Crusader and this crazy artillery with 10 range perhaps, just like the WS1.